Well, hello everyone, and welcome to another very exciting episode here on the MIgardener channel. Where else are you going to go for some of the most overly enthusiastic gardening that you have ever seen but here? I kid. I got so many comments on some of our past videos about me being overly enthusiastic, and really, how can you be overly enthusiastic about gardening? I mean, come on, it's gardening. So I'm excited today. I'm having a great day. I'm just soaking up the sun and the warmth. I am very, very sweaty. I just want to point that out. FYI, I've been in the garden since about 7 o'clock in the morning today. We just finished up. I want to show you all it. It looks amazing. I'm so excited about what's to come. We are waiting on 20 yards of mulch. We got 20 yards of mulch delivered for 75 bucks. Really, that's just to pay for the gas to get it here. We went with a local tree company, and I would suggest you do the same because it is so expensive. I mean, we were looking at mulch, and just to have like a premium grade mulch, it's about $20 to $25 a yard. So no, I can get it for like $2 a yard. So I would suggest you do the same. So check out what we got going on here. We have a little bit planted from the last time you saw. And then I want to do a walkthrough of some of the trees, because the trees are starting to come in the orchard. And then I want to show you just a snapshot of something that's very exciting that I think, I mean, I had my doubts, but when I saw it, I was amazed. So I want to show you all that as well. So stay tuned for that. This is the nice view that you get here when you come in. This is the main entrance here. We have this all scraped clean now. This is looking great. This is all going to be mulch though. So as you walk in here, you got these beautiful fire rings here. A lot of people were wondering what these are. These are actually fire rings. They also use them at state parks and stuff like that. That's probably where you're going to see them most frequently. But believe it or not, you can get them at your local hardware store. They're super inexpensive for what they do. They're about $30 to $35. They can be a lot more than that if where you go is very expensive, but we went to a self-serve lumber yard, and they actually had them there, and they were only I think $31. So really inexpensive for something that will never ever rust, never deteriorate, and it holds stuff. So we're going to put our perennials in here. We're going to have a goji berry, we're going to have white clover, we're going to have white clover, and then a perennial herb garden, and then more white clover. And the white clover is not edible for us, but it's great for the bees, and we want to bring in as many bees as possible because the honeybees are just going nuts right now. I mean, they are literally bursting at the seams. I had to put another box on yesterday because they were just exploding. And then this right here is the first 3 beds that we got planted. This is just some of our cold weather stuff and some cucumbers there. And what we're doing is, many of you know this, but before we actually had a huge oregano plant, and it's still huge, but what we did was we actually dug it up because it was originally right over there and it was kind of in the way. So we dug it up, just placed it right there. That's going to be fine. That's going to be our perennial oregano plant there. But what we did was we split it off. We took about 4 or 5 different sections. We put a tiny one right there that you can see, and then we actually put them in some of these beds here because oregano is very good for organic pest control. A lot of pests don't like the smell of herbs. The oils that come off the herb leaves is actually a deterrent. So we're really going to integrate a lot of different herbs in these beds here, and you're going to see that as the day goes. I wanted to show you the asparagus bed. We're letting most of this stuff go to seed. We might pick a few more stalks, but the asparagus bed is just blowing up, and very, 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 very pleased with how the asparagus bed looks. You know, sometimes you never really know how it's going to go when you first plant. The soil we were using here was not that great, so we just loaded in all fresh soil. It's nice and loose. Check this out. Look at this. I mean, like the weeds come right up if there are any, but look at this. I mean, like, this is just, oh yes, oh yes, that's all you can say. So you know, stuff's really taken off really well here, and this is a great spot for this. We are going to put mulch here to mulch this to keep all the perennial weeds from coming up. It's just, it's a pain in the butt. It's easy to weed, but it's a pain in the butt to weed. So all the perennial weeds are going to get mulched here. And I did want to show you something really cool. Look at this. Check this out. This is actually little baby asparagus that dropped from seed when they produce seed. I'll post a link to the video of us harvesting the seeds from there. But there's some there, and all throughout here, there's just little tiny tufts of asparagus starting to pop up that unfortunately probably are going to end up getting mulched, but they are in there, so if they want to grow, more power to them. And then this is the cucumbers here. They're not looking as hot as I would hope. It's been so hot and so dry here. It was a really bad time to transplant. Even the oregano is looking a little worse for wear, but it'll pop up. And then these are the rest of the beds. These are the beds that we are just kind of finishing up-ish. They're finished, but they just need a little more TLC. We're going to put some more compost and peat over top of these beds here, work that into the top 2 inches of soil. Then we're going to fertilize with trifecta. We're going to come back through here and fertilize every single bed with trifecta, load that in really great, and then we'll be set. So a lot of people were wondering what we're going to do with this part of the garden. So as you know, we kind of had to stagger the beds because the spacing was a little bit off, because the asparagus bed is 15 feet by 4 feet and the beds are only 3 feet. So it really screwed up our spacing, and so we actually have a pretty big gap here. And what we're going to do is we're actually going to mulch this all really well, and then we're actually going to put some brick pavers in and a bench, and it's gonna look really cool there. And we're gonna put some other stuff there too, kind of like maybe a bird bath, and really make it a nice seating place where we can enjoy the garden from, because it's a great focal point. Here, I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about. So you're sitting here, and you're sitting right in this little spot here, and you're basically surrounded 365 degrees almost of just beautiful plants. So we found this was a great spot, and it's a great use of space that we don't need to plant something. We have plenty of beds, trust me. And then over there, this bed that is an in-ground bed still, we did not have enough funds to get the wood that we really want. I mean, we could have gotten it, but no sense in going over budget. So we're just gonna plant corn here. We're just gonna put corn right in this spot, and it's gonna be fine. It actually does better in ground, we find, because the corn, it takes up a lot of space, and the raised beds, we need them for other stuff. So the corn's going to go here, and that's going to be a great spot for it. We're just going to let it go crazy. We're going to plant all this out. All right, and now we are by the orchard, or what will hopefully be a orchard. It's kind of just trees right now. They are fruit trees, but they're not really doing that well. We have the one that we transplanted that we will be showing you all in an upcoming episode how to transplant, unless I upload this video after that video. Either way, they all get kind of put into a docket, and whenever I get to editing them, I put them up, so sometimes it's a few days late. But we did transplant a fruit tree that's looking amazing, but the other fruit trees are coming along just a little bit slower because they're bare root, and bare root sometimes takes a couple years to really get hold, and once they get hold, they're fine. So I wanted to show you them now though. We have here, this is one of the apple trees. This is a Fuji Apple, looking really great. We put this this chicken wire and kind of suspended up in the air to keep deer from sticking their heads in there, man. They love to eat all the fresh new buds in the springtime. So Fuji Apple looking great. This is a really good example of kind of year 2 expected for bare root, this size at least. They don't take off initially, but after this year they're going to explode. Then this over here is a pear. This is a Bosc Pear, and this is shooting out a lot of new good side growth there, and some growth up at the top here. We're going to come through here at the end of the season and kind of pick which ones we want to grow out, because having a lot of growth up here at the top ends up getting a little too clustered, and you want space between the branches for airflow, and it ends up being stronger that way as well. So some of these are going to go, but we're just letting the plant use the energy because it needs all of it, because it's kind of stinking a little bit. This one here, it's doing okay, but it's not doing great. This is a peach. This is a Contender Peach. It's looking awesome for year 2, especially because peaches do not transplant well. I will state, if you can get them in a pot, not bare root. They transplant horribly. We've never had good luck transplanting them, but this one has come back, and I imagine it's going to do fairly well this year. And then this one over here, this is another apple. This one is not looking great at all, but it is pushing new growth. We're gonna push some fertilizer through it and see if we can get it to stop getting such yellow leaves. This is a Macintosh, I think. No, actually this is a pear, the Olympic giant pear. We lost the Macintosh, that's right. So this is the Olympic giant pear. The Macintosh was here, it died. And so now we planted, this is a wine sap, and the wine sap is just beautiful. I absolutely love how the wine sap looks. We're gonna come through here and trim some of these lower branches. That's gonna help reduce the transplant shock, and we're really gonna pick and choose the branches we want to grow, because having all these here, again, too crowded. Now we're getting to the berry section. I wanna show you the currants first. The currants are blowing up. I have never seen this many currants before in my entire life. So as you can see, this is just a astounding amount. And I think I just heard the truck come for the mulch. So I wanted to show you this, and I'm gonna show you the berry plants really quick, because they're gonna take a few minutes to get back here. But again, these are raspberries and blackberries. That's a blackberry, that's a raspberry. That got mowed last year, so we're putting mulch around these. This is another blackberry, amazing looking stuff. This one got mowed. The people mowing our lawn did not know that those were berries. So they came back fine though. This is a raspberry, another raspberry that's looking amazing. Beautiful raspberries. And another one here. These are called Canby. Canby is a great variety for anyone that wants to try their hands at growing raspberries. All right, and we're just gonna take a quick walk over here before the mulch truck comes. I can hear him backing up now, so I'm gonna make this quick, but I wanted to show you something that I did not think would actually work, and it's actually a cold hardy almond. They're only hardy until zone 6, but we planted them here. It's technically zone 5, and they are just doing amazing. So this is doing phenomenal for year 2, especially with bare roots. So I hear the truck. I'm gonna let you go, but that is an awesome sign that we can grow cold hardy almonds here. All right, so we've been at it for a little while. As you can see, I've changed my shirt. Cindy had her baby shower today, so we've been kind of in and out with that, but nonetheless, we've been plugging away. My grandpa and I, we've been knocking down this pile quite a bit, and we've got about half done. So, well, half the pile's gone, but I think only about, I'd say 3/4 of the garden is done. So we're not yet finished. We're gonna have a lot extra, definitely, but it'll be good, because there's anyone who's ever bought mulch knows that there's always places where you can use it. So we're gonna put a bunch of mulch around the fruit trees and the stuff like that, so that we can keep the weeds down. We're not yet planting, but the soil looks amazing. What you also did not see was us taking a quick trip to the to our local hardware store. We picked up a couple big blocks of peat and some compost. We mixed that up and we put that on top of the beds to really give it that finished look, give it that additional richness. And then all we're going to do is we're going to fertilize and plant. But I have a feeling that's going to be for another episode, because I don't want this one getting too long on you. So I will catch you all in a few. Check out what we got going on.